first thing the new king did was command that all the sons of the old king be put to death, and so they were. After that, men called him Bad Brother, though in truth they'd been no kin of his. Christopher Botley, The Asher Greyjoy, A Dance with Dragons, Chapter 26, The Wayward Bride. House Goodbrother stands out as one of the more unique houses of the Iron Islands. Well, culturally, they are similar to the other houses of the Isles, with their history following the same common threads. There is one key thing that sets the Goodbrothers apart from their ironborn kin. They do not claim descent from the legendary Grey King from the Age of Heroes, rather his eldest brother. That's the house's name, Goodbrother. House Goodbrother of Hammerhorn are one of the most powerful houses from Great Wick, the largest of the Iron Islands, and are one of House Greyjoy's primary bannermen and most loyal allies. Their blazon is a gold-banded black warhorn on red, with their motto currently not appearing in the books. Their keep of Hammerhorn is inland, away from the sea, in the hard stone hills. Unlike many of the Ironborn houses, their wealth does not come from sailing the Sunset Sea, but from their mines, making them stand out further from the other Ironborn houses. The main branch of the house is the Hammerhorn family. However, there exists at least 5 other cadet branches of the house, with at least 3 of them calling Great Wick home. House Goodbrother of Corpse Lake makes their home on a small island at the centre of a small lake known as Corpse Lake on Old Wick. There is then the Goodbrothers of Crowspike Keep, who are said to be located somewhere between Hardstone and Corpse Lake, and the Goodbrothers of Downdelving, who are supposedly located elsewhere on Old Wick. The other 2 known branches include the Goodbrothers of Shatterstone and the Goodbrothers of Orkmont, who is confirmed not to be located on Old Wick. As we have discussed, unlike most great houses of the Iron Islands who claim descent from the Grey King, the Goodbrothers claim their descent from the Grey King's Leal eldest brother. When the Kingsmoot was used to choose the High King of the Iron Islands, only House Greyiron had more kings chosen than the Goodbrothers. One of their most famous or infamous kings was King Arathon IV Goodbrother, who acted as High King, known as Bad Brother, sometime during the Age of Heroes. When King Aragon III Greyiron died, a Kingsmoot was called by his family, while one of the king's sons, Torgon Greyiron, was raiding Demander. The king's younger sons were hoping that one of them would be elected king, but the Ironborn chose Arathon Goodbrother instead. Arathon IV's first act was to have all of the late king's sons at the Kingsmoot executed. Thus Arathon became known as Bad Brother. Arathon ruled for 2 years, amid enemies due to his cruelty. Torgon, the only surviving son of the previous king, returned to the Iron Islands and declared the Kingsmoot decisions were unlawful, as he had not been present to put forth his claim, as was his right to do so. The priests, the people, and the captains all agreed, and Arathon was put down and hacked to pieces by his own captain. Torgon the Latecomer succeeded Bad Brother as king. In the wake of the Targaryen civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons, after the death of Balon Greyjoy, Lord of the Iron Islands at Faircastle, Gunther Goodbrother slew Alistair Winch in a feud over Lysa Farman. During the resulting struggle for power in the Iron Islands, Sir Leo Costane led an invasion of the Isles on behalf of Lady Joanna Lannister in 134 AC. Leo was later slain by Arthur Goodbrother during the fighting, and a Lord Goodbrother was put to the sword by the Westermen by the war's end. This is my hall, Damphair. It is not for you to say who must go and who remains. Gorrel Goodbrother to Aeron Greyjoy, A Feast for Crows, Chapter 1, The Prophet. The first mention of the house during the main book series comes in A Clash of Kings, when Balon Greyjoy, Lord of the Iron Islands, sends his daughter Asha to Great Wick to meet with Lord Gorrel Goodbrother. Little is known of Lord Goodbrother's history, but from what we know from his character, he seems to appreciate maesters and is protective of his lordly rights. When Balon's son, Theon Greyjoy returns to Pike from the mainland of Westeros after being held as a hostage since the failed Greyjoy rebellion. He sees a great number of longships, including some bearing Gorrel's banded black warhorn. The strength of Lord Goodbrother amounts to nearly 40 longships at Lordsport. When entering the Great Hall with his father's captains, Theon sees some Goodbrothers of Greatwick among the other assembled bannermen and captains. Later, during the War of Five Kings itself, Balon declares himself king of the Iron Islands, with all the branches of the Goodbrothers supporting his claim. I must send word to Pike, and soon. Damp Hair, I would have your counsel. What shall it be? Homage or defiance? For now, send only silence. I must pray on this. Gorrel Goodbrother and Aeron Greyjoy. A Feast for Crows, Chapter 1, The Prophet. After Balon's death during the events of A Feast for Crows, Lord Gorrel sends one of his sons, Gorman Goodbrother, to the shores of Great Wick to inform Aeron Greyjoy, one of Balon's younger brothers, and a priest of the drowned gods, of his brother's death. Aeron then travels to Hammerhorn to discuss the news with Gorrel. The Damphair demands that Gorrel's maester should not be present for their conversation, but Lord Goodbrother insists his maester stays. The maester then informs Aeron of Euron Greyjoy, another of Balon's younger brothers' arrival at the Pike in the wake of Balon's well-timed death, and Gorrel tells the priest of the drowned god about the death of Lord Swain Botley, who had defied Euron when he laid claim to the Seastone chair. When Aeron Damphair calls a Kingsmoot to decide the new king of the Iron Islands, some Goodbrothers from the Greatwick branches of the house gather at the Kingsmoot at Naggart's Cradle to wish Victarion Greyjoy well, the man whom many of them will be supporting in the vote. Later, at a feast held by Victarion Greyjoy, two of Lord Gorrel's sons get into a fight, knocking over a table. Although Lord Gorrel and the other branches are initially supporters of Victarion, after Euron Greyjoy's speech, he is spotted by Aeron Greyjoy chanting Euron's name, with the Crow's Eyes arguments clearly winning over Gorrel and the other Goodbrother branches. Lord Gorrel and his sons are part of Euron's attack on the Shield Islands in the Reach, with Gorrel being spotted by Victarion talking with Dustin Drum, as well as Roderick Harlaw in the yard of Lord Hewitt's keep in the wake of his capture. And until the publication of the Winds of Winter, that is all the lore we have of House Goodbrother.